Hello and happy weekend. Hey, today's a really neat anniversary day when it comes to weather events. Let's take a look at this. Blizzard of 67 occurred on this date, January 26th. And I remember that well because I was in high school at the time down in Chicago. And take a look at this. Grand Rapids got a foot and a half of snow. Chicago, which is what you see in the picture there, that is Lakeshore Drive. And all the cars are stuck there. They'd have to move all those cars and buses before they got the road plowed open. There were over 50,000 abandoned vehicles, and I believe there were as many as 800 buses that were stuck, and people were on those buses. A lot of people stuck in their cars, and a lot of people took in strangers from off the expressways as they got stuck there. And 2 days before the storm, before the blizzard, they had thunderstorms go through not only Chicago but also southern Michigan. There was actually a severe thunderstorm watch in effect and some warnings as well. There was one fatality in Chicago. A building under construction collapsed. But I remember that storm well. Frequent lightning and some pretty strong wind. And then 2 days later, we got the big blizzard here. Highest snow total in our area was 30 inches, and that was about 5-6 miles northwest of Battle Creek. Highest drifts were 15 feet. And then we had the blizzard of 1978. Grand Rapids had 15 inches in 15 hours. I stood on a drift that was 14 feet high down around Wayland. That was by 131. Muskegon picked up 52 inches of snow in 4 days. Could you imagine that? And the schools, most of them were off, had 5 days off, that included a weekend. Some schools were closed for nearly 2 weeks before they got the rural roads plowed out. We had a record low pressure. Most of you probably don't care much about that, but if you're a weather person, you probably geek out when you hear that. It was not only a record pressure for the Sarnia-Port Huron area off in the eastern part of the state, but they also recorded at the time the lowest non-hurricane pressure ever recorded in the United States. That storm backed up from West Virginia back up into southeast Michigan. And it made my name a household name here in West Michigan, which is really interesting. I was the only meteorologist on the air. People were stuck at home, had nothing to do. There was no cell phones, there was no computers, so people just watched TV. And I was popping up about every half an hour with all kinds of new information. And before you know it, I remember going into Myers the next week, and everybody came up to me to talk about how the storm affected them. You can see on the right a picture of somebody that's shoveling out his poor car. I mean, he can shovel it out all he wants, but he won't be able to go anywhere until everything is plowed out. But that was quite the storm. Speaking of quite the storm, look down south. The snow fell Wednesday and Wednesday night. Now, this is early Saturday morning, and there is still snow on the ground in parts of southern Louisiana, along the Gulf Coast, and in northwest Florida. Again, if those snow totals of 10 inches at 3 places verify in northwest Florida, that will be the biggest snowstorm ever in the state of Florida. So pretty amazing. They had snowplows out. They were out ready to go. Florida prepares themselves for weather events better than any other state. They really do. They pre-position power crews in advance of hurricanes and strong thunderstorm outbreaks and all that. By the way, we have snow on the ground here. The most of it is around 131 west of Lake Michigan. We've had a lot of snow around here of late. You can see the northern tier of U.S. About 36%, or about a third of the United States, has snow on the ground here this weekend. Here's a look at what fell here. This is from the 19th through Friday. And look at some of these snow totals. East Jordan, almost 2 feet. Scottville, 22 inches. That included 10 inches in a day. Muskegon had 20 inches total. Holland 18 to 20 inches. Benzonia Beulah, that's up in Benzie County. And my daughter worked up there for a while, so we're quite familiar with the area there around Crystal Lake. And Coopersville, 17 inches. That's a lot of snow for Coopersville. Fremont, 16. We had 14 inches at Hart and Mears. Granville, Gobles with 13. Ludington, 11. And Paw Paw, they had 7 to 10 inches of new snow. And I went through the different weather reporting sites, and I spent time last night adding up the snow totals for the season. Scottville had the most, 66.5 inches. The lakeshore areas have really bounced forward here. Holland was 62, and Muskegon is now ahead of Grand Rapids, 57.2. Hart at 55.6. Grand Rapids is over 50 inches now for the winter. Battle Creek, and that's northwest of Battle Creek by about 5-6 miles. They're 46 inches, and they've had more snow there than they have in Kalamazoo. At WMU, the measurement there is at about 32 inches. And there's less as you go inland from the lake, but almost all these totals are above average to date. And we have more snow coming, though no big storms are expected around here. We're looking for temperatures to be up into the mid-20s. Temperatures down in the teens at night. So cool, but not super cold around here. West wind's a little bit on the brisk side today, and it gets really windy for Monday. So beware of that. We could see some gusts to 35 to 40 miles an hour inland and 40 to 45 at the lakeshore. It will certainly be a windy day. Great Sunday coming up for your outdoor winter activities. This was bittersweet Saturday morning. Just after it opened, you can see more people in line than there are coming down the hill because they're just opening up. But boy, they've had a great month and a lot of powder snow there from what we've had this weekend. Great time to get the skis out, the snowboards, get the snowmobile out, and enjoy winter here in West Michigan. Here's the way it looks the next 5 days. A little bit of sunshine this Saturday, poking through the clouds from time to time. May see a little sun tomorrow. Some snow showers a possibility for Sunday afternoon into Monday. Wouldn't amount to much, could be an inch or so. And as we go through the week, there'll be some chances for some light snow or flurries. Wednesday looks like a day you might see an inch or two here. And again, Monday will be on the windy side. But you can see we got 3 days coming up here with temperatures up into the low to mid 30s. So a little bit warmer than we have been. We turn a little cooler again here on Thursday. But I don't see any polar expresses coming anytime soon. A little final note for you in history. This is the date that Michigan joined the Union, January 26th. That was back in 1837. We were the 26th state, kind of in the middle here. The writing on the flag means if you seek a pleasant peninsula, look about you. And circumspice, which sounds like something you'd find in the kitchen, means to look around. So look around and find a pleasant peninsula, or more than one. Great weather here for the winter time, and a great weather day in England. Daughter number 3 and her husband are in England right now. Daughter number 3 will be singing in an 850 voice choir. Really neat. So in Derby, this is a country club there. It has been quite windy there, as it often gets, but sunshine is about as rare as it is in Michigan during the wintertime. That's a very cloudy place, the United Kingdom area, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland, and especially Ireland and Scotland saw some pretty strong winds here with this last passing storm. So anyhow, have yourself a great day. Help to grow my channel. You can subscribe to my YouTube at Bill Steffen 616. It is free to do that. And of course, at billsteffen.com, I've got threads up with pictures and some nice links about the blizzards in 1967 and 1978. Have yourself a great weekend. Thanks for checking in.